President Paul Biya and wife Chantal Biya, the presidential couple, is back after attending the 72nd UN General Assembly in New York, the United States of America. In the absence of the head of state, several persons were killed in the two English-speaking regions of the country. What solution has the president brought back home for the Anglophone crisis at a time when elites have been visiting the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon to preach peace and dialogue? In this edition of the news, we'll tell you how former Prime Minister Peter Mafane Musonge has been meeting with some of the locals in the southwest region of Cameroon. Some, according to newspaper reports, are saying that the form of the state should be under discussion. This at a time when the SDF Solidarity March was banned on Saturday. But SDF militants dribbled the vigilance of security forces and took part in the march in some parts of the economic capital, Douala. Jean-Michel Ninche, Honorable, who is the SDF Little Regional Chairman, says, though it was not 100% successful, the signal has gone right up to the level of A to D. I will be right back. Good evening, I am HANSON Chanji, watching the 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television. We are broadcasting live from Douala, Cameroon, Equinox Central News Desk. In his absence, several persons were killed in the two English-speaking regions of the country, and the commemoration of 1 year after the Ezeka train incident. President Paul Biya and wife Chantal Biya, they are back in the country after attending the 72nd General Assembly of the United Nations that took place in the US of A. Roland Akong, in the following report, now presents events that have happened in the absence of the head of state and questions if President Paul Biya has come back out of Cameroon with solution to the Anglophone crisis.
President Biya returns home after spending a month abroad. Biya's return coincides with two events in the country: the abortive SDF Solidarity March in Douala and the commemoration of the first anniversary of the Ezeka train accident. Was President Biya's return intended to overshadow the two events? It is the question some commentators are asking. President Biya has one pressing case file on his table now: the Anglophone crisis, which 1 year on has no solution yet in sight. Attentions are focused on the head of state for actions to be taken to solve the crisis. Dramatically, some members of government joined dance groups at the entrance of the Unity Palace to show their faces welcoming the president back home. State protocol could not allow them to do so at the airport.
Roland Akong ending that report. It is not a taboo to talk about the 2018 presidential elections. Now, ambassadors to Cameroon have been reacting. German ambassador to Cameroon says in order to have a peaceful 2018 presidential elections, it must take place in a calm atmosphere where dialogue should take central stage. The French ambassador to Cameroon, Gilles Thibault, says the media must be neutral and not spearhead or spark tension. We have this report signed by Innocent Aze.
As 2018 draws near, politicians, especially candidates of the 2018 presidential election of Cameroon, continue to animate the political debate scenario. Knowing fully well, instability usually reigns after declaration of election results in African countries, the visiting German ambassador to Cameroon admitted it is possible for stability to reign in the country after elections. According to Hans Vieterstel, this can come true if elections are free, fair and above all, transparent.
Les élections doivent toujours mener à une stabilité après.
Election results must enhance stability in the country. Preparation and elections must be carried out in the context of peace and transparency. Election results must be accepted by the population. On the part of the visiting French ambassador to Cameroon, Gilles Thibault limits himself on the role the media has to play to ensure peace reigns during election time.
2018, année électorale en France.
To him, unlike in the 2017 presidential election in France, media men and women in Cameroon must be sincere. They are compelled to be neutral by giving true and balanced information. Present all the presidential candidates to the population. Time allocated to candidates on the debate platform must be fixed and respected, with the presidential aspirant listened to keenly as they deliver their speeches. When all these are taken into consideration, citizens will be capable to choose their favorite candidates. In 2018, it is previewed Cameroonians will have to go to the polls to vote the President of the Republic, members of Parliament, senators and mayors. Whatever choices they make, peace and stability are highly expected to reign in the nation, like in developed countries.
Now, President Paul Biya's grants to victims or aid to victims of the Ezeka train incident that took place on the 21st of October 2016 has brought to the limelight unidentified and identified victims who were involved in the incident. Now, it has equally brought figures of some of the missing victims. The information is contained in a release signed by the Secretary General at the Prime Minister's office. Our reporter, Babila Jonathan, read through and now presents the situation.
1 year after the Ezeka train accident, government has revealed that 7 persons are still missing. A release signed by the Secretary General at the Prime Minister's office, Fuda Severin Magloire, spells out names of those still missing, injured and dead victims of the tragic incident. Among the 80 dead victims, according to official figures, 4 corpses are yet to be identified. President Paul Biya has ordered the disbursement of a 1 billion francs CFA grant to assist the victims or their families. Prime Minister Philemon Yang has set up an ad hoc committee charged with overseeing the sharing of the presidential grants to the victims. Persons whose names appear on the list published in the release have 3 months to submit complete files at governors' offices or Cameroon's embassies and consular offices. The release states that injured survivors are called to present medical evidence from public or private hospitals approved by the Ministry of Public Health, a certified copy of the National Identity Card, a certificate of residence, and bank details if possible. Beneficiaries of deceased victims are equally required to present the aforementioned documents and others, excluding a medical evidence. And beneficiaries of missing persons must prove the presence of their missing relatives in the train accident.
Now, reports as far as elites who were dispatched to the southwest region of Cameroon to go to the different divisions. The reports are now ready, and the head of the delegation to the southwest region, former Prime Minister Peter Mafane Musonge, says the grievances of the population has been kept in a sealed bag, an envelope, and will be sent to President Paul Biya, not meant for the public. But other reports say the people have been asking or calling for the form of the state to have a relook on how the country will look like. We have our reporter, Derek Jato, who took part in the meeting that took place yesterday, and this is his report.
As instructed by Cameroon President Paul Biya through the Prime Minister, the Peter Mafane Musonge-led delegation to the Southwest region said the delegation has satisfactorily come to the end of its peace and dialogue mission to the region.
In general, the meetings went very well, very peaceful, and people were very grateful that they came to see them and talk to them.
It is after 2 p.m. Sunday, October 22, 2017, the committee members are stepping out of the Southwest Governor's office after an in-camera meeting to assemble all the divisional report, which has as content the Southwest population grievances and the proposed way forward of solving the Anglophone crisis, a crisis that in the recent past has turned bloody, with so many people shot and killed by the forces of law and order. When Peter Mafane Musonge was asked by pressmen and women to tell the world what the Southwest people are sending through him as their grievances to President Paul Biya, he said the message is reserved only for his hierarchy.
So what are some of the problems that the people...
Well, I won't tell you that. I reserve that to my hierarchy that I'm going to report to.
And later talk on decentralization and poor infrastructures as the cry of a Southwest man.
Generally, the majority of the people are even for decentralization, provided it's carried to the earth. In some cases, we have matters of educational infrastructure, schools which have been dilapidated, all that sort of thing. Some schools still have been burnt by some of our own people. There are problems about roads, access to some localities which is quite difficult, like in Rivianem, like in Kubangen.
Critics say poor infrastructures are the effect of the Anglophone crisis, not the cause of the crisis. Today in the Southwest region, many are congratulating the Musonge-led commission for one thing. The commission, during their mission, created a platform for an open and frank discussions. Reason why these members of the commission should also remember that during discussions in some places of the Southwest region, they were held responsible by their own people for betraying them and hiding the truth from the head of state.
But here's the way we get up in Southwest and Northwest. The one is Emily Musonge. And when other biology ministers from another country to get minister, we have the same problem.
And whatsoever is in the file of Peter Mafani Musonge as he leaves for Yaoundé, the Southwest people hope that their point on federation.
May they give we federation with one town. May they give federation, but one work now for the own side.
Their invitation for President Paul Biya to visit the Northwest and Southwest regions.
People give such simple request. They can be released. Give address. They can't go away. Address them. Say because of the misunderstanding that they get as well. I don't go to you at all.
Their call on security forces to stop killing people. And that the Southwest and Northwest people are not dogs or terrorists will not be left out.
According to Barrister Agbo Bala Nkongo, was recently released from the Nkondingi maximum prison. The people have rejected the elite and that the elite do not have legitimacy to preach peace at a time when several persons have died and that elite have been mute on that. It was a communique that was released by Barrister Agbo Bala Nkongo. Now, still talking about the Anglophone crisis, Francophones who have been supporting the Anglophones, according to Honorable Jean-Michel Yintier, the SDF Littoral Regional Chairman. He says though the planned match, the match programmed for Saturday, October 21st, 2017, the economic capital Douala was not 100% successful. The intention is mind-blowing. He spoke to Equinox Television shortly after his house arrest.
Je crois que ceux qui parlent d'échec n'ont rien compris.
Honorable Jean-Michel Ninchi, SDF Regional Chairman for Littoral, is satisfied with the Solidarity March which took place Saturday, 21st October 2017 in Douala. Even though a few took part in the exercise, he says what is important is the gesture and the intention of the marchers. It wasn't 100% successful because the march was banned by the Duo for Douala 1, Jean-Marie Chakwi. But the SDF militant succeeded to dribble vigilance of security forces and took part in the march around Axelu Bepanda and Bepanda Ambiance, alongside militant of the Cameroon People's Party, the CPP, of Edith Kabangwala, who took part in the march past around Daido. Anglophones should be smiling now that their Francophone brothers love them, Honorable Jean-Michel Ninche told reporters.
Que les francophones prennent des risques, organisent des manifestations.
The issue is not number, but that was a strong signal to tell the government, to tell Paul Biya that the Anglophone problem is not only the problem belonging to the people of the two English-speaking regions of Cameroon, it affects all Cameroonians. And we are 100%
with the Anglophones.
Je pense que notre message est passé. On nous a...
Now, major public junctions in the economic capital Douala, precisely in Douala 1 municipality, have been transformed into mobile garages. Now, council authorities of the Douala 1 municipality have launched offensive to stop what they have termed urban disorder. Catherine Kony has more.
Had their cars parked along different roadside in the Douala 1 municipality will have to go negotiate for the release of their cars at the municipal roadway office. Some of these vehicles were towed away by the head of the municipal roadway, who was working with some policemen. Roadside garages in the Douala 1 municipality were equally affected as cars in their premises were taken away.
Then they hide now for back motor them. If you want pass here, run. You know if you can't ever.
According to these inhabitants, the move to clear the road of these vehicles will reduce theft in the area, as hoodlums use the abandoned vehicles as a hidden spot. Others believe the town will appear cleaner now that the road cars have been removed. However, the reason for this operation, according to the head of the municipal roadway, is aimed at putting order in the Douala 1 municipality.
It is the dawn of a new era. We are now in sports football after the demise of Canon Football Club of Yaoundé and Tonekara Club, who have been relegated to the second division of the National League 2 Football Championship. A new messiah has emerged in the center region, which is FC Yaoundé 2. Yes, that club has been promoted to the National League 1 Football Championship. The people of Yaoundé and the people of the center region can still watch good football. Roland Nakon.
The town of Yaoundé has a new football club in the Elite 1 Football Championship. Yaoundé 2, as the club is called, was presented to the government delegate and the population of Yaoundé at the weekend by Luke Asamba, mayor of Yaoundé 2 and manager of the new football club, Yaoundé 2 Football Club. After expressing his happiness for the success of the club, Gilbert Simi Evuna, visibly satisfied, wished all the players of the club and management well, reminding them that it is easy to get to the top, but one needs to work harder to stay on top. Luke Asamba, the manager of the club, expressing his gratitude to all who from far and near contributed in one way or the other to the success of the club. The Yaoundé Football 2 Club is the only club in the Mfundi division that is now in the Elite 1 Football Championship, as Canon and Tonnerre have all dropped to Elite 2. The ceremony at the Yaoundé Town Hall was marked by animation by some artists from the center region.
Now we are still talking sport, football. Now we talk about the 8 final matches of the Cup of Cameroon that took place at the weekend, with 7 of the matches, and the surprise of the day was the elimination of Eding FC. The current champions of the National League 1 Football Championship were eliminated by Douala Electric Football Club, and Victoria United, alias Opopo, One People, One Power, eliminated Feche FC. Smart Jikan Gabriel brings us the results and the next fixture.
After the title of the Elite 1 Championship won by Eding FC of Lekien, their hopes of getting a double this season has been stopped by Douala Athletic Club at the 8 finals of the Cameroon Cup. Dag 2000, that was recently relegated to the Littoral Regional Championship from Elite 2, created sensation by eliminating Elite 1 champions during post-match penalty shootout 4-3 after a 1-1 draw during regular play time. The qualification of Dag 2000 brings to a total 3 littoral-based clubs that have sealed their place for the quarterfinals of the Cup of Cameroon. UMS of Lum and New Stars of Douala all got their qualifications by eliminating Astre and Foudre Sportif of Akonolinga respectively. Meanwhile, Southwest flag bearers Victoria United of Limbe stomped Feche FC 2-0, creating a record for themselves, being the first Southwest Regional Championship side to attain this level of the competition. Other qualified teams include Young Sports Academy of Bamenda, FC Yaoundé 2, champions of Elite 2, and Racine FC of Bafoussam. The 8th team will be known when FECAFOOT decides whether or not Leon Blesso of Futuni is innocent of the accusation levied against them by Bamtus of Mbuda. Leon Blesso was supposed to take on Africa Sport of Yaoundé, but the match was postponed.
We've come to the end of this 6 p.m. primetime newscast on Equinox Television. Thanks for joining me in this edition of the news. Now the team joins me to say good night.